Fuertes-Olivera defines e-lexicography as a discipline concerned with the creation and/or validation of lexicographic data that can be stored in the database slots of the lexicographic editing software and be ready for different types of access and presentations, as well as for performing different usages so as to meet different users' punctual needs in the most straightforward and fastest way possible. Let's break this down and reflect on what it really means theoretically and practically. Firstly, the above definition indicates that e-lexicography is understood as a data-driven discipline. This means that e-lexicography shifts the focus to digital data that is structured and stored in databases, handled by lexicographic editing software, which has been designed for automation and scalability. This has an important implication. Lexicographers must now think like data architects. They must be concerned with how data are formatted, assessed, presented, and reused. Secondly, the above definition means that e-lexicography is also concerned with multi-access and multi-presentation. This means that there are different types of access, for example, mobile, web embedded in apps, that there are different types of presentations, for example, learner's view versus expert view, language-specific customization, general view, etc. This idea implies that lexicographers are no longer concerned with static books, but with dynamic tools tailored to the device, user profile, context of use, technological possibilities, and so on. For instance, in the digital world, there are no new editions of, say, dictionaries. These are always subjected to a continuous process of updating, checking, and correcting. Thirdly, the definition indicates that e-lexicography also deals with usages and user-centric design. This approach allows data to support activities such as language learning, translation, writing, specialized communication, for example in medicine, law, and it also indicates that all data are designed to fulfill users' punctual needs in the most straightforward and fastest way possible. This implies that e-lexicography must be responsive and personalized. It is not just about storing definitions. It's about solving real problems for real people in real time. For example, adapting its definition to different situations. The fourth characteristic is that e-lexicography is constrained by technology. These tools in data handling systems are not just helpful, they are foundational. Without technology, e-lexicography doesn't exist. This implies that lexicographers must collaborate with programmers, user experience designers, NLP specialists in artificial intelligence and natural language processing. In other words, lexicographers must accept that their activities are geared to produce digital products or services, not just linguistic resources. The fifth characteristic is that e-lexicography supports real-world applications. Lexicographers create or validate data that support adapted language apps like Duolingo, real translation tools, terminology databases for professionals, artificial intelligent language assistants. And this implies that the boundary between lexicography and language technology is blurring. Modern lexicographic products and services are part of intelligent systems. In conclusion, the definition of e-lexicographies proposed by Fuertes-Olivera repositions e-lexicography as a flexible, technology-centered, user-driven discipline. The core question is no longer what does the word mean, but rather how can this lexical data best help someone right now? In Lesson 3, I will analyze this new landscape by focusing on the main characteristics of e-lexicography.